Okay, I want to show you a feature that I find useful, building specialized agent personas. Specifically, I'll demo a one-line script persona. It's a focused agent. I will instruct to always output one-line script in Bash or PowerShell, depending on the user, and it will automatically adapt to the user making the request. We'll have two users, Bob and Alice. Bob's user persona will change to say my computer is Windows, and Alice will change to say my computer is Linux. And then we'll go into a project planning discussion where you'll see how the system intelligently routes different types of scripting questions, aka outputting PowerShell for Bob and Bash for Alice. Let's go ahead and sign in as the organizational admin so that we can set up the scenario. So over in agent personas, Carol can create a persona. We'll call this the one-line scripts agent. We'll use Anthropic Claude Sonnet 4.5 using the system API key. We'll then provide system instructions. This is, I'll just copy paste this from a notepad. Always output one-line scripts in Bash or PowerShell depending on the user. And then just to give it a little bit more direction, right, to keep it in the bounds, I'll tell it that it should be concise. So worst case scenario, at least it doesn't go on a rant, and then brief as well for its response length. So we'll create that agent. And then over in the user personas, we can see Alice. We'll edit Alice. We'll add that Alice says my computer is Linux. And then over in Bob's persona, right, we would say my computer is Windows. Okay, so now the scenario is set up. Okay, so let's go ahead and log out of Carol and log in as Alice. And then on another browser, I've logged in as Bob. So this is Bob, and this is Alice. So if we go over, you can see Alice, Bright Teacher, has selected her user persona. She can select the one-line scripts. And if we go over to Bob, right, he can also go to this project planning. Only his Bob Bright student is allowed to see this project planning discussion. Now Bob can go ahead and ask something. Let's say he says something like, I need to get a list of all of my files in the project folder. So he's trying to share what is on his local computer. So then he can go ahead and ask the one-line scripts agent. And you can see here, the model has given him and it even responded for Alice already. So that's nice. If we go over to Alice, right? Alice sees what Bob just saw, so she doesn't even need to ask. Let's assume that she's confused by the response here. Like, for example, there's a recurse here on PowerShell, but there's no recurse here. There's no -R. There's a type F, so maybe she wants to question that. She doesn't necessarily need the one-line script agent to respond to this question. Let's say she wants to, she thinks Claude is a better model, so she goes ahead and wants to ask it. So she sends her message and then asks Claude. The find is already recursive. Okay. Let's say Bob thinks that's not exactly what he meant. Maybe Bob meant he just wants his root folder. So Bob can see that there is a recurse and Alice is asking questions about the recurse. He goes ahead and he says, how might I just get the files in the first directory? So now he can go ahead and choose. Maybe he prefers ChatGPT. So you can go ahead and do that. And then there it goes ahead and gives it. Now, something that both of these models, Claude and GPT, are picking up on is that this one-line scripts agent is responding in very succinct and short responses with these one-line things. If you ask other agents, they might elaborate on this and give you like a full multi line PowerShell script. It's very common. And then Alice might think that she really does prefer Claude, so she wants to know maybe what hers would be if she didn't want the same thing, right? So she could ask something like, I would also like to only see the first directory, right? And she could either ask the one-line scripts and hopefully just get one line back, or she could go ahead and ask Claude. Find a path to project max depth 1. So in conclusion, this is just an example of multi-agent, multi-user, back and forth, with very specific agents that sort of can provide you a value or a functionality that you didn't necessarily get from just having one agent to talk to. I hope that was helpful, and hopefully you can use this platform in the future to talk to agents in a more succinct manner.